What's up, fam? Welcome back to my channel, the best place for coaches, consultants, content creators, and entrepreneurs. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about the biggest mistakes that could be costing you money in your business. However, before I get into that, because this is a two-part video, I want to share with you the biggest mistakes I made that cost me money and almost led me to not know how to pay my own rent or bills. See, I started in the online space back in 2017, and at the time I had no idea what I was doing. I had 40,000 followers and didn't know how to turn a follower into a high-paying client. And to be honest, I really didn't know a whole lot about what building an online business looked like. See, I was just a nurse. I didn't know anything about business or making money. At the time, I had coaches that I had hired in the past from when I was competing in the bodybuilding industry. I also had friends who were making bank online, but I didn't know how to create this kind of business for myself. I didn't even know what a business mentor was. I didn't even know it was a thing. It wasn't until a well-known influencer I had been following for years turned into a business mentor, where I discovered you could invest into a mentor or a coach to teach you how to build an online business and make money. At the time, I was still ignorant to the whole idea of what coaching online actually looked like. That year, I received my tax return and decided to invest $5,000 into this fitness professional who turned business mentor. She seems like she knew what she was doing. My only biggest mistake was not doing enough research into this girl. I was given access to an online course and got one group coaching call per week with about 30 other girls that had the same dream I had. The group call wasn't even held by the business mentor. I was absolutely shocked. I couldn't even speak to her. I was paying for $5,000 for somebody else to step in and actually teach us how to build an online business. Not only that, I paid $5,000 for an 8-week course. What the hell? Legit. I absolutely felt like at the time that I was scammed, and it's not even the fact that I had anything against her coach. It was because I wasn't told that somebody else would be teaching it, not her. Now, I have nothing against co-coaches. I actually have them myself. However, I am still heavily involved within my programs and with all of my students, and they receive group calls with myself plus private calls on top of that. Now, I think it's because of this bad experience from being burnt when I first started investing, why I make sure that all of my students receive such a high quality service when they come and work with me, even if they do have a specific coach that guides them along the way with my frameworks and my methods. I still make sure that I show up in the group program, and I still make sure that there is a lot of love from me as well, because at the end of the day, I am the brand, right? So on top of that, the teachings that I invested into wasn't even anything new to me. All they taught me to do was how to write personal captions, take photos, edit them, and how to show up on Instagram. For $5,000, I was expecting to learn business acumen, not how to write a caption. That was the first mistake I ever made, not doing enough research or asking more questions as to what was involved in the investment. Being burnt for my very first time investing was not the nicest feeling, however, a huge lesson was learnt there. So the second biggest mistake was investing into paid advertising before A, I was ready, and B, had enough disposable income to burn and be okay with not seeing a return on my investment. This mentorship I entered was by far one of the best experiences I could possibly have had as a new business owner. I still to this day have massive respect for Lynn Trin and his incredible leadership skills. Lynn opened my eyes to business and coaching. Being inside of his accelerator and then going into his mastermind program taught me the most valuable lessons and the foundations in business that I still come back to every single day. Now, at the time though, I wasn't in the best mindset, nor was I ready for such a big leap into the world of paid advertising and marketing. See, I had this belief that the only way to be successful in the online coaching space was to invest into paid advertising. Now, what paid advertising means is paying to acquire clients. You know when you're scrolling through Facebook, or you're on your web browser and you see an advertisement pop up with some business mentor or someone selling something that they have to offer? Well, that's what paid advertising is. And that was the rabbit hole I went down on, as I believe that that was the only way to build an online success. See, I had 40,000 followers at the time and I was still stuck in the influencer mindset. I didn't think I could turn my followers into paying clients. And to be honest, I never really tried too hard either. I think a part of me was burnt by my first investment that I didn't believe in Instagram. See, Lynn opened me up to a phenomenal world of the digital space, systems, automations, paid advertising, and marketing, and I absolutely loved it. And I do believe that this was the beginning of me becoming such a tech wizard and guru to this day. I love geeking out on systems, email marketing, automations, and all the unsexy part of business most business owners hate and avoid. But my biggest mistake, not regret, a mistake, was not looking into how much I would have had to spend on paid advertising to acquire a client. So brace yourself. I'm going to drop how much I actually spent on paid advertising. So I was spending up to $600 to $900 per week on ad spend. Shit. Oh my god, can I swear on here? Oh my god, I still feel like I'm traumatized by the experience of spending so much money on paid ads. Not $100, not $200, $600 to $900 per week. And at the time, guess what? Everything went wrong. I picked the wrong niche. I designed the wrong program for the wrong niche. I wasn't confident in sales. I wasn't confident in myself. I was stuck in a scarcity mindset and I was held back by fear of failing. I was so reactive to my emotions every day. And in return, I never closed sales. I did 24 sales calls in 1 week and closed 0 people. The next week, 15 sales, 0 closes. And the next, more sales and no closes. The ads converted, the funnel converted, the webinar that I made all converted. I couldn't close the person. I couldn't turn that person into a paying client. And I came to realize it's because I wasn't in the right mindset. And every week that money disappeared, my mindset got worse and worse and worse. To the point where I made my third biggest mistake. I hired a sales consultant to replace my inefficiencies and my lack in ability to be able to sell me, which is probably the worst thing you could do as a beginner business owner. I wasn't ready, and in return I hired the wrong person who not only lied to get the job, but also never signed on clients. So by Christmas, I was financially in the red zone. I was screwed, with no idea how I was going to pay my rent the next month. I'll never forget the moment that I had my last $3,000 in my bank account with no new money coming in. And it makes me emotional as I even say about this because I will never forget it. I had no new clients, no new money coming in. That month I gave away my last $3,000 in my bank account to a marketing consultant who is still with me in my business today. The 3K was my only way out of the hole I dug myself in the decisions that I made. So you're probably wondering why I gave away my last $3,000. Why not pay my rent instead, right? Well, unfortunately, my mind doesn't think that way. The way I've seen it was that my greatest lesson was going to come out of this moment. I knew I had to spend money to make money. I knew I had to take the risk even if it made no sense. And although I cried my eyes out on the phone when I made the bank transfer, I knew I'd be okay. And it's safe to say, I did get myself out of the red zone the following month. I came out of that situation with some of the biggest lessons I have learned since being a business owner. Ones that I will never ever make again. So now these mistakes that I had made as a little infant that wasn't even like crawling or running, now I'm able to reflect back. And I actually turned all of those mistakes into being able to make better decisions now. Now I have the confidence, I have the sales experience. I went and turned my inefficiencies into my strengths. And it didn't happen overnight. It's been about a 2.5-year journey from that day when I gave away my last $3,000. It has been a journey to be able to just build upon those moments, not look at it as a regret, but look at it from an empowering place of the fact that it's normal to make mistakes in business, but you need to learn from them. You need to learn from them and find the lesson in that experience and not make the same mistake again. Find out why you did the things that you did, why you made that mistake. And eventually, if you really lean into it and reflect back and you learn from that moment, you won't make that same mistake again. Another circumstance might show up that is similar, but you'll know how to handle that. You'll know how to handle that because you've become better at handling mistakes or unforeseen circumstances in your business. So it's safe to say that $3,000 that I gave away was the best investment ever, because the person that I did meet absolutely changed my life and taught me a lot about business from that point on, and it actually strengthened me as a woman and as a business owner and an entrepreneur. So now that you know my 3 biggest mistakes that I have made to date, now, of course, there's many more than that. I have heaps of them, but we'd be here forever, and maybe that's another video for another time. So on that note, I'd actually love for you to leave me a comment in the comment section down below and let me know whether you enjoy my personal stories that have led me to where I am now. Your feedback will definitely help me create more videos that allow you to both get to know me and give you behind the scenes and my own perspective of my entrepreneurial journey and decisions I have made to date. So now that you know my biggest screw-ups that I've made in my journey in business, next week I'm going to share with you part 2 of this video. And that's going to be the 3 mistakes that are costing you money in your own business. You are not going to be able to guess what these 3 mistakes are. That is so common that most people don't even know that they're doing it. But until then, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, as it definitely helps me get seen in the algorithm and for more people to benefit from this video. And make sure you hit the big red button and subscribe to my channel to receive weekly notifications on my video drops so you never miss an episode. Now, obviously this video gives you some good gold nugget takeaways. However, it's not the magic pill to your online success. If you're wanting to take the next step further, please make sure you visit the show notes down below, and there's a link that'll say jessicavieira.com build an online business. And this is a 90-minute video where I teach you how to turn followers into high-paying clients without a website or paid advertising. And hey, if you don't have clients or a business right now, that's okay. I'll show you exactly what you need to do to get started today, even with as little as 100 or less followers. I'm going to show you how to not make the same mistakes that I made in my business. So make sure you go and click the link in the show notes down below. There's also an option for you to come and join my Facebook group, which is my inner circle, where I hold fortnightly masterclasses on all things business strategy, mindset, business growth, and how to just be the best entrepreneur ever. So make sure you go and check out those links. So until next week, fan, I will see you then. Have the best week.